Hello everyone, and thanks for watching part 3 of our end of year 2022 special. So this video will go through the weather in Ireland between July and September. Part 1 and part 2 have already been released, and part 1 goes through January to March, and part 2 goes from April to June. So please do watch those if you get a chance to do so, or if you haven't watched them yet. So we starting with the CET for the months from July to September. So I'm just using this just to show you how hot this year was compared to average, and also there's no such thing as Central Ireland temperature. So I thought I just have to use this instead. So looking at this, the month in this column, the CET in this column, and the anomaly to average in this column. So July with a CET of 18.2 at 2.2 degrees above average, so very hot, as you know. We had that massive heat spike around the 18th and 19th of July. In August, the CET was 18.7 at pretty much 3 degrees above average. So, and it's very rare to have the August CET in the 18s, or have the August CET above the July CET. Normally, you have the July being warmer than the August, but this year was a total change on that. With a lot of sunshine and hot weather in August, very contrary to what we normally get in August. And September, in September, the CET was 14.4, about 1 degree above average. This month had a very warm first week to it, very, very warm. But from the 10th onwards, it gradually cooled down, and the second half of the month was below average, I'd say. It was very cool. You see it in a second, so just keep that in your minds, these anomalies and numbers, and we'll go through the charts then. So, starting on the 1st of July, Friday, we have low pressure to our north, bringing in a cool and showery westerly winds, but keep an eye on the Azores High. This will start moving closer to us and bring us summer weather. So, going through, you can see it beginning to move northwards into the 4th of July, here out in the mid-Atlantic, pulling in a westerly wind, still quite cloudy and cool at this stage. But then, as we go into the end of the first week of July, that ridge is nicely in over us. So by the 10th of July, it's right over us. Warm sunshine, clear blue skies, and really quite hot at this stage. But it will only get hotter. So as we go towards the middle of July, the high pressure still sits over us, pulling to our west a bit at times. Very, very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. I remember this. Just constant sunny days, very few clouds, very warm sunshine as well. But then look at this. Saturday, July 16th. High pressure shows signs of going to our east. And we go into Sunday, the 17th of July, is over Germany, and we're starting to pull up some very hot air from the southeast. And you can see, look at that, 850 HPA temperatures, 10 Celsius ice storm through Scotland, 15 Celsius ice storm through Ireland, Wales, and England, 20 Celsius ice storm into the very fast southwest of England, and then the 25 Celsius ice storm moving up towards us in the Bay of Biscay. We are about to go into a truly record-breaking historical heat spike. So I'll just go through it hour by 6 hours in 6 hourly intervals. So going up here, Monday, July 18th at midnight. Look at that high pressure nicely over the center of Europe, wafting that wind up right from the southwest. And we go on into Monday, the 28th of July. Thundery low out to our west, high pressure to our east. Look at that. 10 10 Celsius isotherm up to Shetland, 15 Celsius isotherm way up into the far north of Scotland, plus 20 Celsius isotherm into Northern Ireland, engulfing that, and even towards the far south of Scotland. You rarely, I mean rarely, get the plus 20 Celsius isotherm into Scotland. It's rarely happening. And we go on into the 19th of July. We see the peak of the heat on this day. Look at that. Low pressure developing over Ireland. That's a thundery low. And we're going to get to that. This is pretty much, I would say, the peak hour of the extreme upper air temperatures. So 15 Celsius isotherm it's retreated a little bit, but look at this plus 20 Celsius isotherm through Ireland, and it even reaches the northeast. It even reaches the northeast of Scotland towards the Moray Firth. That is truly exceptional. And on July 18th, we saw I think it was 33 degrees somewhere in Ireland. In my area, it was 30 degrees. It was really quite uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, humid, muggy, and of course in England they saw temperatures of 39 degrees, unbearable, truly unbearable, and dangerous. And we got 40.3 degrees, I think it was, somewhere in the southeast of England on the 19th of July 2022. So that was a true record. First time hitting 40 degrees in the UK. That will go down in history forever. Truly exceptional. That was. And then we see the thunder low over Ireland. There were storms around my area on this day, but unfortunately, of course, I didn't get any. As my life is often like that, I often just don't get the storms. Anyway, moving on into the 20th of July, we finally get a breakdown and it goes much cooler. Look at that. All of that heat gone. 10 Celsius isotherm, barely holding on to the south of England. 5 Celsius isotherm coming through Ireland and Scotland. We see a big cool down. And also a bit more unsettled as well, so low pressure comes in off the Atlantic. Yeah, very cool there. And I'm sure that was a big relief for many people. So we're going into August now. As I said, this month was very much warmer and drier than usual, but it started quite unsettled, so you can see that low pressure up towards the north in early August. But that gets out of the way, and again, we see high pressure coming in from the southwest, coming over the country, and we go very warm again. I remember these days so well. Between the 9th of August, 10th of August, and the 11th of August, look at that big chunky area of high pressure. Look at the upper air temperatures. Not, thank God, not as warm as the temperatures we saw with the July heat spike, but look at that 10 Celsius isotherm through northern Scotland, and the 15 Celsius isotherm just coming into the southeast, so very warm. And between the 3 days of 9th, 10th, between the 9th, 10th, and 11th of August, I had 3 completely crystal clear days. No clouds at all for 3 days. Exceptional. Truly remarkable. So moving up now, we have a thundery low coming up from the south into mid-August. That, I know that breaks things down, but I didn't get any storms in my area. Well, in my area, in my location, there were no storms, but in my area, there were storms. I remember I got a good lightning show on the night of the 14th of August, very late on, about midnight. And then on Monday, August 15th, I had some good storms to my west, and a downpour here, but not really any storms. But storms are close anyway, so. And going up into the 20th of August, go a bit more unsettled as autumn starts to show its hands, but still quite nice and dry and warm at times, like that on the 28th of August. High pressure to our north, bringing in easterly winds, although you'll notice that the wind is coming a bit from a northeasterly direction, so a bit cooler with that as well. You can see 10 Celsius ice away from the country. September then. So September was a very wet month, quite a wet month, and very warm to start off, but cooler towards the end. Now, just keep an eye on this low pressure around Iceland. Watch what happens to it. We go into the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of September, and into the first full week of the month. Low pressure is sitting over here to the west of Ireland. High pressure blocking it from all sides and angles. This is what you call a cut-off low, where low pressure is just stranded because it's blocked by high pressure on all sides and just stays there until it fills. So, and you get very, very wet weather with that. And I remember that first week of September, very wet, constant showers coming up from the southwest. Some lightning with it. Some lightning as well. Truly, very, very wet, very, very wet. But of course, we needed it because the summer was just so hot and dry. We see it's very warm, 10 Celsius ice storm coming up from the southwest into England with a southwesterly wind, so that's why it was so warm. Low pressure moving in across the country then into the end of the first week of September, pulling away. We get a break from the rain, winds, and showers. We go through into the 12th of September. We see it going cooler, low pressure in the Norwegian Sea and high pressure to our west, bringing in northwesterly winds. Going through then, we bring in a northerly for mid-September. After our temperatures, look at that cooling down. 10 Celsius ice storm, well away. 5 Celsius ice storm just clinging on to the southwest of England and Ireland. 0 Celsius ice storm coming to Scotland. As we go forward, we see that 0 Celsius ice storm comes down quite far, but before the 5 Celsius ice storm tries to get back, and we see that happening there. As low pressure comes back in off the Atlantic towards Iceland, high pressure over the UK. So we're going through then, and we go cooler again there on the 23rd as high pressure comes in from the west. Look at that big northerly blast on the 26th. 0 Celsius ice coming down through the country, especially to the east. The west stays milder with that, and then that goes even cooler with that with the wind going a bit more northeasterly. So we found the cooler air being shunted right across the country. The mild air retreats into the Atlantic, and we finish September looking very autumnal. This day was very well remembered. I remember just being wet all day, very windy. The warm front and cold front were very defined. It felt very humid once the warm front had gone through, even though it was just a very small warm sector, and the cold front just came right through, bringing sort of heavy rain followed by showers in the afternoon. That day, just the first very much autumnal day of the season. Then we're into October, so I'll start here. Next video, part 4 of the special, going through October to December. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought back some memories for you, good or bad, and that's it for now. Happy New Year's Eve, and bye for now.